Kia ora, welcome to this episode of the Amateur Austenite. I am Frances Duncan, author, Austenite life coach. My co-host is Rachel Pilwa, book buyer, Austenite, all-round nerd.
Hi!
Today's another special episode. Last week I had a guest talking about the sexy bits in Emma. Because we are both ace, I got a token ally person to discuss with who has her own podcast about sexy bits in Austen.
I can't wait to hear it.
Should be really good. Today, we are talking about Taylor Swift songs that may or may not relate to Emma. So the way that we did this is different to how I normally do. I selected a few. I can go a little bit nuts and have like 20, 30, but I capped myself. I was going to go for 5.
You did 7.
So there are 7.
You're fine. I have zero knowledge of Taylor Swift, especially compared to Frances. I know mostly her older stuff, not very much past, I think, is it her album Red? I know a couple of songs from, which one ever has like Cardigan? Delicate. I know some of those.
Those are 2 different albums.
Oh, is it?
Delicate, Cardigan, 2 albums.
Okay, but great. See, I didn't know that.
If I'd known early, I would have gone early. I just went with the first few that popped into my head. So I made Rachel a playlist with these 7 songs on it for her to listen to, and then we're going to discuss why they're on there. So what did you think about Fortnight? Did you have any idea why that one is
No,
on
that actually might have been the one that confused me most. I listened to it. This is a cool vibe, and I was listening to the lyrics. I don't actually know if I feel like this fits in for me, but explain your reasoning.
The story behind Fortnight is that you can't get away from someone in a small town. So you've had an affair or a relationship and you're always running into them. The line about running into you talk about the weather.
Yeah. Okay.
So do you get now? Do you want to explain to the listeners?
Okay. Well, for me, it mostly makes me think of the scene where they run into the Martins. Emma and Harriet run into the Martins at the shops. It is a small town. You can't avoid people. No matter how much I'm sure Emma wishes she could avoid the Eltons, you do have to see them at dinner parties and the like.
It's really awkward in a small village where anyone's had any prior relationship with each other. Emma and Harriet can't get away from each other. They can't get away from Mr. Elton. And then Mr. Elton turns back up with his new wife. Harriet and Emma go and visit him. And he's in a room with all 3 of them, the woman he wanted to marry, the woman he was expected to marry, and the woman he did marry.
Do you think then Mr. Elton is the one who embodies the song the most? Like, which character do you think is singing this song?
This song is more about loss. And I'm not sure that Mr. Elton necessarily feels that Emma was a loss. He didn't...
Her money was, though.
Yeah. He didn't genuinely have feelings for her. The song says, I touched you for only a fortnight. I loved you and it's ruining my life. I had you and I don't have you. And no one really has that so much in this novel.
Is Mr. Martin the closest? Emotionally, they were both there and they were close and then he lost her. He does get her back later, but...
No, it could be Mr. Martin. So the second one I chose was Lover.
Which I have heard before. This one did make some sense. So there was a line, I'm highly suspicious that everyone who sees you wants you. I've loved you 3 summers now, honey, but I want them more. And I felt like that was towards the end of the book, Emma being like, Harriet loves you, get away from her. Her being really jealous of that.
I too felt that this felt a lot like Emma and Mr. Knightley. And it is really about love. Can I go where you go? Can we always be this close? There's a dazzling haze, a mysterious way about you, dear. Have I known you 20 seconds or 20 years?
20 years.
Yes, Emma, you have known him
21
your entire
years.
life. But there's this still learning things about him, even though it's been her whole life and it feels like it's so new, but it's so established.
Yeah, especially once they get together, there's going to be so many other little pieces. Like, yeah, you've known each other forever, but there's probably a lot that y'all don't know about. What's his nighttime routine? What's her nighttime routine? What does she look like in the morning when she wakes up?
Always beautiful.
Always beautiful.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel?
No.
Oh my God, it's an amazing show. And it's basically about this like Jewish housewife in the 50s. Her and her husband separate. She becomes a comedian and uses the pain of the relationship ending as basically comedy gold. But there's a scene in the first season, like her husband falls asleep. And like once he's asleep, she gets out of bed, opens the curtain just a little bit, and she goes into the bathroom, takes off all her makeup and her fake eyelashes and does the whole face cleanse and puts rollers in her hairs and ties it all up, and then gets back in bed. And then in the morning, where the curtain has opened a bit, the sunlight is just on her eyes, and so it wakes her up early before her husband. And she goes over, takes out all the rollers, puts all her makeup back on, puts her fake eyelashes back on, does the whole routine, and then closes the curtain, gets back in bed, just in time for the alarm to go off. And I feel like Emma Woodhouse would do the exact same thing.
For generations, this is what women were taught. Never show a man your real face, always look beautifully presented.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a brilliant show and a brilliant scene to discuss the beauty standards of women. Later on, I don't know if it's the same season or the next season, but you see her mother doing the exact same thing. And her mother who has been with her husband for 30 years. But I feel like Emma Woodhouse would do the same thing, and I feel like that line makes a lot of sense.
I don't know. Would she also be like, I'm fantastic. You must love me no matter how I look?
That is true. That is fair. And you know what? If she was just looking normal, Miss Knightley still might think she's the most beautiful woman in the world.
He better.
Yeah. Actually, did they wear makeup and things like that very much at this time?
There was makeup.
Like
but
rouge and things,
yeah,
maybe. But
they did like rouge and powder.
Yeah.
Like you go red cheeks, white skin.
I think they'd moved on from lead by this point, though, so
not as many people were dying. I feel like Mrs. Elton might be the kind of person.
She would be fully done up. Very gaudy. Yeah.
It's a good word for Mrs. Elton. Gaudy. Next on our list, LOML, which is a trick because you think it's love of my life, but it's actually loss of my life, and it's a devastating song that has made me cry multiple times.
I listened to the song and read the lyrics, and up until you just said it, I still didn't know what LOML meant. I've never come across that term before.
Really?
Didn't know love of my life, didn't know loss of my life. It does say it some ways. You said I'm the love of your life.
You told me I'm the love of your life. You said I'm the love of your life.
That would be LOYL, not LOML.
You'd then think love of my life because you said I'm the love of your life, but no, it's the loss of my life.
Loss of my life.
It's smart and painful. So what did you think about this song? Who did you think that this one I might have picked it about?
Yeah, this is one of the ones that also confused me. I didn't really understand why it was here. Like when it said like Mr. Steal Your Girl, it made me think of Frank Churchill, even though he's not technically stealing anyone's girl, though he does flirt.
For me, felt really clearly a Frank and Jane when she thinks it's finished.
Ah, okay.
He's fucked off to Richmond and then his aunt dies and she has heard nothing from him. She accepts a job as a governess and thinks it is over. You said I was the love of your life. You shit talked me under the table, talking rings and talking cradles.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think when I was listening to this, I was thinking of it from a very Emma-focused perspective. Now that I'm actually thinking, this is about the wider story and the wider characters. This makes a lot of sense.
What we thought was for all time was momentary.
Wow.
She's like, you love me, we're going to get married, all of this. No, it's gone.
It's gone. It's
a con man sells a fool, a get love quick scheme.
That is so Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not trying to get rich quick by being with her, but he is trying to get rich quick with his aunt, in a way.
I feel this hole, I can't get out of bed.
He really didn't leave the house for a little bit. Visitors would come over to her place, but she wasn't really happy about seeing anybody.
Yeah, Frank and Jane. Oof. I really love that song, but it is a gut punch.
Yeah. I was listening to it and I was like, this is depressing.
Taylor Swift is very good at killing you.
Yeah, and this is from the album The Tortured Poets Department. That does make sense that the song would be on that album.
So currently her most recent album, but by the time we publish this, her new album will be out.
I was going to ask, where does this fit into the timeline of Taylor Swift albums? Because that's also something I don't know.
So this is TS11.
Yeah.
So I think it was April 24.
Okay.
And October 25, The Life of a Showgirl's coming out, which is supposed to be more upbeat.
She would have been dating Travis Kelce at this point, but maybe not when she'd been writing it. I don't know how long they've been together. How long have they been together, Frances?
a couple of years, like 2 years.
Okay.
So some of the songs are about him, but there's also dealing with her breakup with Joe and potentially her short-term relationship with Maddie Healy, who I'd never heard of prior to this.
No, I don't know that name.
My theory that some of the music in this album, some of the lyrics and stuff had been from earlier stuff that she'd maybe reworked because she'd been re-recording all of her albums.
Yeah.
And going back through her life almost, and whether she picked something up that she had an idea of that she'd never fully formed or just remembered a thing and wrote it. And some of this stuff could be from back then because she's got But Daddy, I Love Him, which she remembers screaming when she was quite young at her dad, and that doesn't seem to
just
fit
copying The Little Mermaid. Daddy, I love him.
There's some really storytelling ones that feel like they'd fit well on Folklore, which was one of her 2020
Is
ones.
that the one that Cardigan was on?
Yes.
Yay, I knew a Taylor Swift thing.
So I suspect that this is a big compilation of some of her old stuff, working through all the old emotional stuff and potentially using some of her old stuff that she had scraps of and reworking them and to create something new.
Especially now that she can do it with her own voice and on her own terms compared to when she was with her old label. Yeah.
Now she got all the power.
She got all the power. And I hope that if her new album is more upbeat, it's because she's happier with life.
Yeah, she seems to be.
Yeah.
I think she's one of the few things that's keeping the world afloat. Like, the world is on fire, but something good is happening because Taylor Swift. So that stops me from feeling completely terrible about life. Thank you, Taylor Swift.
She's your messiah.
This one might be really obvious. The next one on this playlist is Anti-Hero.
And this one I understood. This is about Emma. She is very much an anti-hero in her own story.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem.
Yeah, you are, Emma.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have this thing where I get older but never wiser.
Yes.
The opening line, and I was like, Emma Woodhouse right there. Yeah, she ages, but actually, does she learn? Does she change?
And this is something that Mr. Knightley keeps bringing up.
Mm-hmm.
She even says to him, you know, I'm older now. Maybe I'm a little bit wiser and we're a little bit closer in sense. And he's like, are you though?
You were a child. You were a baby.
When I spoke to Emma Dunning about this, who will be our co-host on the next season, she was like, but Emma would not say that she's the problem. After she realises she has feelings for Mr. Knightley with the Harriet thing, I think at that point, she's like, oh, it's my fault.
Yeah. This is end of the book, Emma, singing this song. Reflecting on her actions.
I stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror.
Yeah.
My covert narcissism disguised as altruism. It's a great one for Emma.
I have this dream my daughter-in-law kills me for money. She thinks I left them in the will. It made me laugh. It made me think of Mr. Elton wanting Emma for her money, but it also just made me think of Frank with his aunt. His aunt could potentially be singing that line. Would Frank kill her for money for the will?
Well, we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know. I read a short story where he does. And we did have a whole talk with someone saying, like, could he have? There's not enough evidence to say that he did, but he had means, motive, opportunity.
Anytime that she's unwell, he does go to her. It's made to seem like he's doing it because he's so loving and nice. But actually, it makes me sometimes think of in Queen Charlotte, the Bridgerton spin-off, where every time someone comes into the room, she goes, is he dead? It actually doesn't end up being that she's wanting him to die. But I do feel Frank would be like, is she dead? She's sick. I'm here. Is she dead?
Is she dead yet?
Is she dead yet? Can I go into mourning? No, that line just made me think of that part of the book.
Yeah. So, Champagne Problems.
I mean, just the title, I think, fits with Emma.
It's like we say, first world problems.
Yeah.
Champagne problems. You don't really have any problems, Emma.
There's some awkwardness with the whole Harriet situation, Mr. Elton being a creep and Mrs. Elton being a bitch, but you're wealthy and you're rich and you have food on your table and a roof over your head, a very nice roof.
You're fine. Also, I thought a little bit Mr. Elton because the story in this song is somebody proposing and being rejected.
Yeah.
It's difficult because Mr. Elton doesn't seem to have genuine feelings for Emma, though. He is butthurt when she rejects him, but it's different. And he was excited about it, and he did tell people, you told your family for a reason, you couldn't keep it in. He told the Coles. There's a particularly brutal line. She would have made such a lovely bride. What a shame she's fucked in the head. That is so something that Mr. Elton would think.
Yeah, that's exactly what Mr. Elton would think.
She's fucked in the head.
Yeah.
It's not me.
It's me, hi, she's the problem, it's her. And hold your hand while dancing, never leave you standing. That just made me think of the dance scene where Harriet gets snubbed by Mr. Elton. That line actually came more from Mr. Knightley. He is an actual gentleman.
I'll never leave you standing.
Never leave you standing. He'll always be there because he's a good guy. And Mr. Elton obviously has most of the song. Does seem very much like him, but that bit just made me think of Mr. Knightley.
Very good. So this was a little bit of a wild card I put on. I can do it with a broken heart.
Yeah, I need you to explain this one to me a bit better.
I can read your mind. She's having the time of her life. Emma does all these social things, putting aside her feelings and trying to make sure everybody else is happy. No one actually knows what's going on inside her. And they do think she's maybe selfish and everything's about her, but she does put her feelings aside. She's the real tough kid who can handle her shit, and she fakes it, being like, yep, everything's fine. I'm making sure my father's happy. Everyone who comes to visit is happy, even when she's falling apart or she's irritated. She throws a dinner party for the Eltons.
Yeah.
After Harriet tells her that she's in love with Mr. Knightley, Emma's like, oh, he's going to marry Harriet. But she continues on. She's depressed, but she acts like everything's fine. She can do it with a broken heart.
Yeah, she just keeps soldiering on. Emma does just kind of keep trying to be this perfect hostess despite what's going on and despite how she is feeling about it. Like, she does focus on other people's relationships, especially, before she thinks of her own.
And we have this idea of Emma being really selfish, but I think on this reading we really picked up that she is putting down a lot of her own feelings and putting on a face, putting on a front for other people to make them comfortable.
Yeah. No, I agree. Before, you were talking about how, like, Frank and Jane and the whole breakup over situation. He said he'd love me for all time, but that time was quite short. Breaking down, I hit the floor. All the pieces of me shattered as the crowd was chanting more. And I felt like that specifically was very much from Jane. The crowd chanting more was mostly Mrs. Elton. This song also does apply to that part with Jane of...
Jane is totally still going through the motions with a broken heart. She's not as good at hiding it.
No, yeah.
But she's gone, yep, I need to keep moving forward. I'm going to take this job even though I don't want to. I need to keep moving forward.
I can't just wait around for this guy anymore. I've got to actually take things into my own hands, despite how I'm shattering.
I cry a lot, but I'm so productive. She wrote so many letters.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm obsessed with him. She was.
But he was also obsessed with her.
Yeah, that was part of their problem, being obsessed with each other.
It would have been better if she was a lesbian.
Yeah, I know.
We keep coming back to it.
Yeah. The final song.
The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived is a song I've never heard before.
Isn't it a fantastic title? Who does it make you think of?
Definitely Mr. Elton.
Yeah. I mean,
at some points Frank.
Yeah. Even if there's nothing else in the song itself, the title, and I'm like, that's Mr. Elton.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised I'd never heard the song before. I thought it was really cool. Really good.
So it's on the anthology part of the Tortured Poets. So she released Tortured Poets in 2 parts. It was like 12 hours later, bonus second album, basically. This was on the anthology, and it's pretty brutal. You didn't measure up in any measure of a man.
I really love this bit at the beginning. Was any of it true, gazing at you starry-eyed, in your Jehovah Witness suit? Maybe it's just because he's part of the church, but I just found that like a really funny kind of image of Mr. Elton. You're just this weird little religious guy in your stupid fucking clothes.
But it also sounds like Jane talking about Frank. Was any of it true? You gaze at me starry-eyed. Who the fuck was that guy? You ghosted me, and I don't even want you back. I just want to know, was this intentional? Did you mean to hurt me? It wasn't sexy once it wasn't forbidden, because it was totally sexy for them keeping their engagement secret.
Yeah. The forbidden nature of the relationship almost made it more exciting, but that's what also made it so much more hurtful. I would have died for your sins, but instead I just died inside. And that made me think of Jane. She was just slowly dying on the inside, having to keep their engagement a secret, especially for so long, having to basically put her life on hold while he was doing his thing. He did give up a lot for Frank. She gave up the possibility of going with her friend. She gave up a potential job. She had to live with the Bates for a while. And instead it did just end up hurting her. Yeah. She was giving a lot up for Frank. She was dying inside.
I would have died for your sins. She knew that it was morally wrong to be privately engaged.
Yeah. And I think also the line underneath it, and you deserve prison, but you won't get time. People would be like, oh, he shouldn't have done that. But I feel like Jane probably would have gotten a lot more blame.
Everyone forgives Frank for everything.
Everyone forgives Frank. And Jane is lovely, but actually her reputation is the one that would have been ruined, not his. Yep. That line really does actually show that. You deserve prison time for your bullshit. Mm-hmm. But actually, you're not going to get any time for that.
She was the one putting everything on risk, and he was not.
Yeah.
And that's why he should have really been so much more considerate of her.
You crashed my party and your rental car. And I didn't really find that relating to Emma specifically, but I did just find it funny.
Yeah, Taylor Swift has some fantastic lines.
I've listened to Taylor Swift on over the years, and I knew a lot of the popular songs that played on the radio. But I guess there's probably a lot of the things that didn't go viral that I probably haven't listened to, and especially never break down like this and related it to something else that I really love, like Emma. Yeah.
This song, the theory is it's about Matty Healy, who is a guy that she dated like 12, 13 years ago and then briefly dated again after she broke up with Joe. And I'd never heard of him before. Apparently he's kind of a dick anyway.
Singer-songwriter and record producer. I've never seen this man before in my life.
No, but he's like, oh, I'm so famous. I don't know. He was also one of those guys that's like, I mean, we didn't even really have a relationship. Like, fuck you, man. And his mother reckons the whole album's about him, and people are like, you saw a song entitled The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived and you decided the whole album's about your son? I get that.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah.
So the 1975. Now that sounds familiar.
Yeah, apparently he's a frontman. I've never heard of the band either.
I heard of the band. I don't know if I could tell you a song by them.
But yeah, from references on this album, it sounds like he did a lot of drugs and smoked and was just trying to be like some rock bad boy or something.
Good on you, Taylor Swift, for breaking up with this weirdo and getting with Travis Kelce, who I had also never heard of before you started dating him. She's dated Matty Healy, still never heard of him. Dated Travis Kelce, I now know the name of one US football player.
Yep. And everyone's just like, that guy's awesome. And he is.
Yeah, I occasionally see videos of him at concerts or like on red carpets being like, look at my beautiful fiancé.
Yeah, he's a real hype man. Yeah. It feels like her previous partners have not wanted to be emasculated by her being bigger than them. And he's like, she's amazing. Why wouldn't you love her? That's what everyone deserves. Everyone deserves a partner, male, female, in between, outside of the binary, that appreciates who they are and hypes them up.
Yeah.
Everyone. She does the same for him when it comes to sport.
Yeah. She's at the games and she's supporting him and she's wearing his jersey and being a good wag,
She knew nothing about it beforehand.
Yeah. I don't know anything. Very little about the relationship. Basically nothing. I can't say anything about it. But from what I hear, she has mostly dated musicians or people also in that entertainment industry. And she is the biggest celebrity on the planet, I think. She's probably was very intimidating to a lot of the men she was dating in the same industry, because even the ones who are already famous, they're never going to be as big as her. But with Travis Kelce, he's in a different industry. And in his industry, he's a big star. Like, he's a big name. I'd never heard of Travis Kelce. I don't live in America and I don't know anything about American football. But he was already famous in his own right, in his world. And sure, the people in his world had probably heard of Taylor Swift compared to the other way around. But they're probably on a lot more of an even footing in that respect.
From what we know, from what we see, he seems like he's really comfortable in himself, so that even if he weren't famous, he'd be like, yeah, she's fantastic, and not feel emasculated by her.
Yeah. And you know who they remind me of? Amber and Miss Hermione. Except without the weird age gap and the student-teacher kind of feelings behind their relationship at some points.
Okay.
Sorry.
Creepy. Right.
But I do think they're very sweet together.
They are.
And I do think that they support each other. And that's really lovely.
I'm glad that there are good things happening in the world. So how do you think that went, our first discussion of Taylor Swift with Jane Austen novel?
Yeah, good. I have a higher appreciation for the music as well, which I know you're very happy about. But that was really cool and really interesting, and definitely something I have never done before, but keen to keep listening and find other songs.
Maybe next time I'll start the playlist earlier so you can listen to it as we're going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if we just discuss a Taylor Swift song at the end of every chapter of the book?
I mean, that's also an option. Emma thought that's what I was suggesting that we do.
Will we run out? No,
we will never run out of Taylor Swift songs. There are so many. She's just so prolific. I don't know many of them. I only know recent ones.
Yeah.
I've only listened to maybe 3 albums. I'm a new Swiftie.
Oh, give me like her old stuff where she talks, whichever album has Mean.
Right. We'll find that one.
Her country stuff. That's where I started. That's where I like.
So we'll try to be a little bit more country. So yeah, if you have some ideas for songs that you reckon would fit for Emma, there is a lot out there. I just went with the first ones that kind of popped into mind, top of mind. Let us know. And we wish you happy reading and happy listening.
Bye. Doesn't feel appropriate to beatbox when we've been listening to Taylor Swift.